This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this afternoon. And yeah, you know what? We're 3 games into the new look Edmonton Oilers lineup that, well, features a guy named Kailer Yamamoto in the top 6 playing alongside Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins. And let me tell you what a dynamite change that has been for the Oilers. Yeah, sure, it's returns after 3 games, but you know what? This is something that I have to review as quickly as possible, considering the fact that I was harping for Ken Holland, Dave Tippett, and Keith Gretzky to make the move, call up Benson or call up Yamamoto, and just change up this stale lineup. And all of a sudden, you look at how things have rolled, right, with William Lagesson on the back end as well. Suddenly this lineup doesn't seem as tired and stale and boring as they were for pretty much the whole month of December. And here we are, 3 games into the returns with Yamamoto and Lagesson, right? December 31st against the Rangers win, 7-5, a 3-2 overtime loss that, well, was it supposed to be a loss or not? Ask about that penalty shot and you may get some different answers. And then, of course, this 4-1 massive victory over the Boston Bruins, only their second regulation home loss of the season. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us in some pretty good shape going into, well, tonight's going to be interesting to say the least. The Canucks play the Rangers. It's the nightcap on CBC Hockey Night in Canada, so you gotta be interested to see what happens there. But no matter what, the Oilers are sitting pretty as things go in that Pacific Division, because no matter what, they're in a playoff spot at the end of today because they love, well, Minnesota and Winnipeg played today, so Minnesota won, and Winnipeg lost in OT, so that leaves them at 48 points, which means we remain in a playoff spot no matter what at the end of the day. Now, okay, alright, why are we talking about playoff spots in January? Because this is as simple as it is. Same thing that went with the first place theory is the longer you're here, the better chance you have to make it. And the reason we have that chance to make it is a guy like Kailer Yamamoto, a guy like Mr. William Lagesson, Wild Bill from Bakersfield. And you know what, for Kailer Yamamoto, sure, he didn't register a point today, but in 2 games prior, he had a goal and an assist, which realistically, still, even not registering a point in a game today, is still his best career pace he's ever had. So that's fantastic to see. But the other side, too, is just the simple fact that they changed the lineup. They went away from the formula that worked early in the season, and now all of a sudden you've got a formula that's really starting to click. We've got 5 out of a possible last 6 points. We're right back in the thick of things, pretty much 3 points out of first, 2 points out from being out of a playoff spot. So we're right where this Oilers team should be at this time of year. Like, seriously, you know what? Ken Holland said it, right? And you know what? Maybe some of us let first place go to our heads a bit, but sure, Ken Holland said it. This team's going to compete for a playoff spot. And you know, as I said, the longer you are in a playoff spot, the longer you can compete for a playoff spot. So let's take a look at a guy like Kailer Yamamoto, who played 16 minutes and 39 seconds tonight. Fantastic to see. And guys, guess what? He was a +2. He was on the ice for the empty net goal for Leon Draisaitl. He was out there doing things the right way, and you love to see Kailer Yamamoto getting those rewards for being out there when it matters most. And you know what? That's a weird thing, right? Obviously, for a lot of us, you know what? Maybe seeing a rookie out there in big time ice time would be risky, but when it's something that needed to happen, right? Obviously, I say Draisaitl and McDavid shouldn't be out there in big time leverage ice time for the other team, but then I'm going to be totally happy that Kailer Yamamoto's out there because, guys, you got to see what this kid's made out of, and this allows you to give a break to Connor McDavid a bit and let you ride somebody else who's just as talented. Like, honestly, every hockey player that makes the NHL is just as talented as the other. It just depends who's more talented, right? It's just as, if not more. And for Kailer Yamamoto, he's got the talent to be in the NHL, but the thing that we've seen out of Kailer Yamamoto and William Lagesson is just finally finding his game at the NHL level, and really hasn't had quite the impact, I'd say, at the NHL level that Kailer Yamamoto's had through 3 games. Yamo is confident. And that was his big key. He said he was confident coming up here. And that's the key. When you're confident in yourself, it's a lot easier for the coaching staff to give you the confidence of themselves to say, you can handle these minutes. You can get this done. You can get my job that I need done on the ice done for me by playing this situation. And that's fantastic to see. And for Yamamoto, guys, think about this. Yamamoto, who's had 2 seasons in the NHL, 9+ games each season, and really not found a footing, and then all of a sudden comes up here and just starts coming out of the gates, flying, literally flying, and being on a line with 2 bona fide superstars in the NHL. Yeah, you might not say Nugent Hopkins is superstar caliber, but he is. He's a first overall pick. He's a beautiful two-way centerman, and you've really seen him get back to his game, playing with Draisaitl, playing with Yamamoto. And guys, look at that. Suddenly we have dynamic duos up and down the lineup. McDavid and Kassian, beautiful goal today. You've got Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins on that second line with Yamamoto as a beautiful third wheel. Don't mind if I do. Same thing with James Neal on the first line. On that third, fourth line, however you want to shuffle them around, Sheehan and Archibald. Guys, they are just starting to do incredible things. And you saw a 2-on-1 for Sheehan and Archibald in the Bruins game today. And man, Archibald chose to shoot that. And it's a beautiful call for the shot by Archibald to just call his own number and say, I'm going to take this. And you like to see that out of the Oilers more and more. And then, of course, you've got on that third line, the other line, the last line, you've got Haas and Nygaard. And so straight up and down, 3-4 lines straight up and down, you've got a dynamic pair that know how to play together and a third guy that helps that line move forward. And that's what Kailer Yamamoto was designed to do. That's what the Oilers needed to do when they called somebody up from the AHL, is be able to balance all 4 lines and find that team game that's been missing since the 7-1-1 start. And right all of a sudden, 2-0-1 out of the gate after calling up Yamamoto and Legason, the back end, hey, it's been steady. Goaltending's been a surprise, and suddenly, hey, look at that. We've got 5 of a possible 6 points. Now, for Yamamoto, you talk about what he's done in the other games this season, it's been something that we really haven't been able to take a look at here on Dolynny TV quite yet. Hold on, let me find those game logs, as that's the last point I've got for you, is just these game logs. So, the win against the New York Rangers, he played a whole 11 minutes and 1 second. He had 4 hits and a face-off 1. You like to see that as well. He had a 33 shooting percentage because he scored the empty netter. He had 3 shots, and you know what? 15 shifts. So, okay, then he gets a bump up the next game to 16 minutes and 35 seconds against Buffalo. 2 shots on net. He gets an assist, and he was a difference maker. Guys, that Buffalo game could have been a heck of a lot different if it weren't for Kailer Yamamoto, Leon Draisaitl, and, of course, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Then, let's move on to today's game, where he tops that ice time against Buffalo. It's now his career or season high, 16:39, probably a career high for Yamamoto, to be honest with you. 2 in the plus-minus category, a shot on goal, and a block for Yamamoto. So fantastic stat line for a guy driving that second line with 2 great players in what was a great game for the Oilers. And suddenly right there we've got early returns on investment. And this is the Kailer Yamamoto. Guys, this is the Kailer Yamamoto that I have faint memories of between the Spokane Chiefs and Edmonton Oil Kings when they came to, what was that Rexall place? Holy crap. That feels like eons ago. Rexall Place back November 1st, 2015, I believe it was. You can watch the highlight pack up on my channel right here. Just go searching Edmonton Oil Kings versus Spokane Chiefs 2015, and you will find a very good highlight pack for Kailer Yamamoto in that one. The first time I learned who Kailer Yamamoto was. But guys, like I said, the early returns on investment for getting this lineup out of being stale, changing things around, and letting them just kind of breathe a bit by bringing in fresh air, right? Obviously, Yamamoto, Legason, the fresh air I'm talking about, and the returns are good. 2-0-1, 5 of a possible 6 points. Let's get it going, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. Is it really just that simple as breaking up the stale lineups, breaking up the stale combinations and bringing in a breath of fresh air, and that's what's contributed to these past 3 games. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. As always, I will catch you in the comment section after this one. I'm up on out of here.